Hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to be looking at the Mira S mouse from HK Gaming. The last year or so has been insane for lightweight gaming mice. We've seen this category just explode with so much competition from different companies. From the Razer Viper Mini to the Moto O- to the MM711, there's been a lot of small lightweight gaming mice. But the Mira S is HK's gaming first attempt at a small form factor mouse, or heck, even a mouse in general, and I think they really nailed it on their first try. There is a lot to like here, and I think this mouse definitely deserves its place among the other great small lightweight gaming mice on the market. We're gonna get into what makes this mouse such a great value and why I think it deserves to be on your desk if you're in the market for a small form factor mouse. Before we get into the video, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, since it really helps me battle the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new here, I make all types of content on tech and gaming, like reviews, discussion on unreleased products, and comparison videos. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Let's get into it. Starting off with the packaging, I like the design and style of the cover art. It's very minimal and it mainly just shows off the name of the mouse, the weight, and the HK Gaming logo. The right side of the box has some of the specifications like the dimensions of the mouse, which we'll get into in a bit. While the back of the box lists some of the features like the honeycomb shell, the shape of the mouse, RGB lighting, the sensor, and more. The other side of the box has some more specs and labels what's inside of the packaging. Inside of the packaging, you're going to get the mouse, which is covered by a dust-proof cover. I got the pumpkin colorway version of this mouse, which I think looks really clean. On the bottom of the mouse, you can see they already attached the PTFE feed on here. They threw in the user's manual, which will be useful for configuring the mouse DPI, among other things. And finally, they threw in some extra mouse feed and some mouse grip tape. Looking at the specs, this is a 61 gram mouse with an ambi shape. It has 6 buttons, mouse 1 and 2 buttons, the scroll wheel button, 2 side buttons on the left side of the mouse body, and the DPI button under the scroll wheel. The mouse cord is a paracord cable, and the feet are PTFE material, which is going to help it get that smooth glide. The sensor on this mouse is the Pixart 3360 sensor, which is an industry standard sensor at this point. It's on mice like the glorious Moto O, the Final Mouse Ultralight 2, the G-Wolf Skull, and you get the point. Switches on this mouse are going to be the Omron mechanical switches rated for 50 million clicks. These switches are the same ones used on the Model O. Mouse 1 and 2 buttons have their own nice clicky sound, and the side buttons have really distinct but solid crispy clicks. Almost no pre-travel or post-travel on either of the side buttons. This mouse actually has the least pre or post-travel on the side buttons out of any of the mice that I've tried so far. It's like as soon as you exert any force to press the side button, it'll go in, but just barely, and then it won't go in any further. I really like that when you actuate the side buttons on this mouse, they don't go into the mouse that much, and that definitely speaks to the build quality of this mouse. Trust me, I've used some mice where I feel like if I pressed on the side buttons too hard, they would just keep going in and break. That's not the case here. No flexing on this mouse either. You can press really hard on the sides and neither of the side buttons are going to actuate. Same thing with the bottom of the mouse, I feel no flexing on this mouse whatsoever. While the build quality for the most part is really good, one thing I noticed is the scroll wheel is a bit wobbly and loose. While I can only speak for the copy that I received, it did not take away from the experience of using this mouse, and I only noticed it if I really try to tug it to the left or right. While gaming with this mouse, the scroll wheel really didn't move at all, and it felt solid to me. Checking the dimensions of this mouse, it has a height of 114mm, a width of 60.3mm, and a depth of 40mm. The shape is very similar to like a G Pro wireless, with the dimensions being very similar, but also with how the weight is distributed too. Comparing it to the Viper Mini, another popular small form factor mouse, it has a smaller width, and the mouse 1 and 2 buttons are flared out less. Both mice have the majority of the weight coming from the front of the mouse, and the coating on the Mira S has a bit more grip than the Viper Mini. Not that the Viper Mini coating isn't great, it just feels a bit more slick than the Mira S. Pricing is going to vary between the color option you choose. The Mira S is available in 4 different colorways: black, white, bumblebee, and pumpkin. The coating is in a matte finish, which is nice, and while I like the design and aesthetic of the matte finishes, I would have liked the glossy alternative because glossy finishes tend to reflect the RGB better and also gives us more options, but the fact that there are 4 different colorways would make it hard on HK's end to have 8 different SKUs of mice. The black and white colorways are going to be $50 and the pumpkin and bumblebee colorways are going to be $60. Even though all the colorways are in a matte finish, I think having to paint the mice a more exotic color like orange or yellow is what's increasing the price on these models of the mouse. It makes sense, but I kinda wish they were all priced the same since they're all identical spec wise, even in regard to the paint job. The only RGB lighting on this mouse is going to be on the scroll wheel, and to me it's a nice touch and I like the minimal lighting on this mouse. So moving on to the feel of the mouse, this is where it's going to get exciting. So for claw and especially fingertip grip users, this is where this mouse is really going to shine. I have a hand size of 17 by 9 centimeters, which I would say is on the smaller to medium size of hands, but this shape fits like a glove. The points of contact where you place your fingers on this mouse feel so natural, and I really think the lightweight and the small form factor really helps to make tracking and flicking with this grip really smooth. The PTFE feet on the bottom of this mouse make it really glide, and the paracord quality is great. I've been using this mouse for about 3 weeks now, and the cord just doesn't kink up, like ever. And it really stays out of the way when I'm gaming. I really want to emphasize that this mouse lets me focus on my aim, and all the other little things that come with it, like the paracord cable and the feet, really help me just game. Because when I'm in an intense match, I just want the mouse to follow my hand without any friction or resistance from any vertical or lateral movements. And it does just that. It performs great. Taking a look at the software, it's pretty basic. It has your usual suspects: lighting control, DPI adjustments, button remapping, a macro editor, and a few more settings you can adjust. You can store up to 3 different profiles for different settings using the software. I just used it to set the RGB lighting on the scroll wheel, set my DPI, and to disable the DPI button. Altering any settings is a breeze and it's easy to navigate the software. Something I noticed in the software is that improved pointer precision was turned on by default, which I think most people disable anyways, so I don't think that should be on to begin with. And also the lighting modes available are pretty bare bones with only static and neon, which just cycles through the colors. Overall, everything you need to get done can be done in here, and it's a clean UI that's pretty user friendly. Shifting over to performance, this mouse, like I mentioned earlier, has the Pixart 3360 sensor, which is an industry standard sensor at this point. No spin out, no little inconsistencies, no double clicking, no issues with this sensor whatsoever. Really great stuff here, and the sensor performance is top notch. I felt like I was able to move my mouse and the sensor tracked my movements precisely. I had a great time gaming with this thing, and when no issue comes up, that's the best feeling. It just works how it's supposed to. So, do I recommend this mouse, and who is it for? I highly recommend this mouse if you're in the market for a small form factor lightweight gaming mouse, and you have smaller to medium hands, and you're also a fingertip or claw grip user. Not really a fan of using this mouse for palm grip just because of the shape and size of the mouse, but your mileage may vary. Incredible build quality, buttery smooth glide, crispy clicks, an amazing shape, and a great sensor. All of this at the $50 price point makes this a great value and a major W in my eyes. I'm absolutely going to continue to use this mouse as my daily driver for gaming and content creation, and I think HK really killed this on their first try. Let's say you didn't like the Model O- or the Viper Mini or the MM710, try this mouse. If they were going to make any revisions or upgrades to a future version of this mouse, here are some things that I'd like to see. First, I want to see a wireless version of this mouse, and if the weight can be kept around the same range, then that would be ideal. I feel like what really made this mouse shine was the lightweight combined with the shape, so making this much heavier is really gonna hurt it for me. Second, make an RGB version of this mouse with lighting coming from inside of the honeycomb, similar to what we see on like the MM711. Third, give us more colorway options, be it a glossy finish, or a different color body, or heck, even a different color paracord. Imagine having a fully custom decked out version of this mouse with like your own custom cable and your own custom body. That's something that would get a lot of people excited. Having a fully decked out custom version of this would be sick, and I'm sure a lot of people would look forward to making their own custom version for themselves. Next, fix the scroll wheel looseness and wobble. I feel like that aspect of the mouse could turn some people off, and if the quality control is managed more diligently, that's going to take this mouse to the next level. Also, please add more color options to the RGB besides just static and neon, especially if we're going to get a full RGB version of this mouse in the future. And finally, enhanced pointer precision should be turned off by default. Having to turn this off is just another thing we shouldn't have to do in the software. Besides that, this thing is an incredibly solid mouse, and I look forward to seeing what HK has in store for us next. Like usual, the link for purchase is going to be down below in the description, so if you want to get the Mira S, you can go ahead and do that. If you enjoyed the video and want to help me battle the YouTube algorithm, hit the like button. Also, don't forget to hit that sub button to join the clique. And if you have anything that you want me to review or talk about, drop it down in the comment section, or just let me know what you thought about the video. If you want to know about future videos before I drop them, go follow me on all my socials, Instagram, Twitch, and Twitter. My handle for all my socials is tech_clip. You guys are awesome. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.